Hello, everybody. This is Carol from Friendly Quail. Thanks for being with me today. I'm working on my sample journal. I'm going to do pages 2 and 3. And this was page 1 that I did in the last video. Now, when I went to put paper on the back of that, it was very difficult because I had already glued stuff onto here. So now I'm getting smart, and I worked ahead. So I'm going to be using this one today, page 2 and 3. So I already have 4 and 5 ready to go. And then before I do 5, I'll put something on 6. So it was much easier to get a smooth paper onto here by doing it ahead of time. So I've learned, and that's something I do constantly. I'm always learning. So I pulled a few things out of my stash, and one was a pocket that's using vellum. And I pulled a couple of cards out. And so I thought vellum, and these cards are using stamps and things like that. So I'm going to kind of use more vellum for a pocket over here. And I'm pulling out some things that I use stamps on. And so I'll be putting those back in later. One thing I am going to start with is I'm making this long, skinny little notepad. So I've got it all ready to go. I have everything all distressed. So what I'm going to do is put it together, and I'm just going to put a little glue because I'm going to end up stapling it. But I want to kind of get things centered on it. Okay. Didn't do very good with centering it. Try again. I want to have a little bit like an, it's not even 1/8 of an inch across. Okay. Next page. Now, if you're better at this than I am, you probably want to, could probably just put it together, but I don't know, I have trouble getting them lined up and then stapling it at the same time. So I find it's just a little easier if I put a little bit of glue on it. All right, a little bit more. And since it kind of flattens out, it's not really adding any bulk or anything. I'm feeling guilty right now. My neighbor just left to go to water aerobics, and a lot of times I go with her and I swim. I don't do the aerobics, but I swim. So she's making me feel guilty because I was going to call her up and ask her if she was going to go, and I would go, and I didn't do it. But you know what? I'll live. That's okay. Okay, now for the top, where did it go? I took it off and I don't know where I put it. I had a top all ready to go. Not under there. Oh, don't you just hate when that happens? I'm going to have to make a new one. Use a piece of paper. I'm using, oh, here it is. Good. Okay, now I'm going to glue this on. I have too much stuff on my desk. That's a problem. And I'm going to be like that for a while because when I'm making something, I tend to leave everything out that I'm using to make it. All right. Okay, now I'm going to staple this. And cut off the edges. I'll just put a little bit of ink on that. Okay, now that is going to end up going here. And what I decided to do was make a little kind of a belly band across here that can go into. So I'm going to put this on. Now this is longer than it needs to be. I'm going to end up putting it underneath here, but I want to make sure this is going to fit in. So I'm going to put this on here so that it's open enough that that fits in there. I'll just kind of glue down the end. And then this is going to end up holding that down. Okay. This I'm going to glue totally down. Sometimes I you know, because it is a pocket already. And I made this in my 12 Days of Pockets on one day that I did all vellum as making pockets using vellum. So I want the name to show, and I don't want to cover up my holes. Okay, and this will be holding that down in there. So now this is up enough that I can easily slide that in. Okay. And then I'm going to put these in here, and it does kind of cover up part of that, but that's okay. You just pull, when you pull those out, you see this, or you can get this out from underneath. So that's that page. Now I also took this page and I made kind of a pocket across the bottom of the page. And I stitched it on using gray thread because that's what I had used on here. And I'm going to use a couple of things that I already have made. This I made out of book page, and then I put coffee dyed paper on it. And you could use it like a pocket and, you know, put it in behind, but I also have paper on the back to write on it. And just as an idea, I can see it either way. This stamp is the same one that I used, or a different one that I used in here. I guess I have more than one stamp. And I use this pear. So that's just going to kind of slide in here. And you can see the vellum through it. And then I made this tag a while ago. And I just took cardstock and distressed it. And then I stamped leaves on it. And I made a hole in the middle. And I have some flowers in there that I dried that were in my garden. And just cut a hole, and I used a scallop because that's what I had, and put, this is actually tracing paper, and I probably would use something more clear if I did it again, and then just put some of the specimen tags and things on for it, and put a little piece of fabric across the top for the tag. Now I did stamp on both sides. I'll write right on here, but you could leave this blank for writing too. And I'm going to put that in this pocket. And then one other thing I have, and this is an idea that I got, a number of years ago. I believe it was the Paper Outpost. And I'm going to, I have I cut scallops. I used this punch. And I cut a front and back cover out of cardstock, and then I have paper in here. And I've got it lined up because I wanted the little scallops to line up. I'm going to use my crocodile to put a hole all the way through all the layers. And then I'm going to use a brad, and I had it clipped in here so I wouldn't lose it. I'm going to put that in here. I did use the smallest hole because this is a small grommet. And I have to open it up. Open up the legs and flatten them down. Okay. And then I'm going to use just a little bit of washi over that, just to, so those legs don't catch on anything. I'll put a little distress on it. And I'll just use this since I have it out. Usually I use my glue stick for that. I'll put that over the back so that brad, those legs of that brad are covered. And then you can do this, and you can write on each one of these little things. I think I have 5 pieces of paper in there. So I'm going to slide that in using the back. Well, maybe I'll just do everything but the cover. And put that right here. Another, I could put a paper clip or something. I could put something else on this pocket if I wanted, but I thought that looked pretty good. So I've got 1, 2, I got the belly band, 3. These I have, I didn't say what I did, but I collaged paper strips. I stained them so they'd be darker. And then I stamped on it, backed it with paper, and stitched around to make the card. So I just put a couple of them in there. So I have the belly band, the pad of paper, the cards, the pocket, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ideas, 6 ideas, 7 ideas, and actually 8 if you count this pocket. All right, so that is pages 2 and 3. It's going to be good. I'm excited. I keep wanting to go, but I'm going to leave that for today, and I'll come back on another day with pages 4 and 5. So thanks for being with me today. This is Carol from Friendly Quills saying bye.